And the first fund we got is from the UNESCO, from the Eco Classroom. That's why this project is very close to our heart. We connected this unit by a mobile app. This mobile app is used by the farmers themselves. It's an open learning space made from natural materials like bamboo and waste materials like wooden pallets. Took from us 6 months to implement 30 rural houses, a month to convince people that this material is a very good material.
What guidance would you provide that maybe someone could benefit from it now?
I think the only thing is don't give up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Reformers podcast. If you would like to learn about climate literacy and resilience, solutions for the built environment through water management, sustainable architecture, solid waste management, and natural materials through innovative methods and involving the community, this is the podcast for you. I would like to introduce our podcast, the Reformers Podcast. This is an exciting podcast that aims to acquaint English-speaking architects, engineers, planners, and the broader community with visionary individuals who are actively engaged in researching, teaching, and implementing the sustainable approaches within the realm of the built environment development. My name is Farres Yasser. I'll be hosting the podcast. I have over 11 years of experience and teaching engineering and architectural solutions, specifically within the built environment. My motto is ECHO, E for experiment-based research for sustainable development, C for communal, collaborative, comprehensive design, and O for outreach through teaching. Today's guest is a very dear colleague of mine, engineer Rasha. She is a co-founder and chairwoman of BENAA Foundation, that's spelled BENAA Foundation for Sustainable Development. She is an urban planner and researcher within the academic and practical experience in urban planning, sustainable management, preservation, conservation, and community development. And she's worked with different NGOs and the private sector. She holds a Master of Science in Urban Planning and Sustainability from the Faculty of Engineering, Cairo. Currently, she is an adjunct assistant lecturer in the Faculty of Engineering in the Arab Academy for Science and Technology, one of Egypt's best. Russia's work focuses on community development through building up their capacities to implement interdisciplinary projects in order to create a sustainable, enabling environment in the Mena region. Now, this introduction does not do her justice, but without further ado, Rasha, welcome to the podcast. And please, it's an honor to have you. Could you please start by telling us a bit about yourself, introduction, a bit about your education, your skills, your work experience, your personal background, and what brought you this so far in your career?
Thank you, Faris, for having me. It's a pleasure to be featured in your podcast. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I am Rasha Emad Eldin, an Egyptian urban planner and researcher. I have 11 years experience of academic and practical in sustainable development sector in Egypt and the MENA region. Also, like Farres said at the beginning, I'm the co-founder of BENAA Foundation and now currently the chairwoman. BENAA Foundation is an Egyptian NGO. We are working in building the capacity of the youth in order to build up interdisciplinary projects and enabling the community. During my short journey, I don't consider it long, I worked with several Egyptian NGO and private sectors in development and sustainability projects. I have a master's degree in urban planning and sustainability from Faculty of Engineering, Cairo University. Now I'm a part-time assistant lecturer at the Faculty of Engineering in Arab Academy for Science, teaching urban planning. As you see, I loved urban planning, and I'm willing not only practice urban planning but also teaching it. I worked for several projects, not only related to slums or local rural communities, but also inside historic Cairo with Gaura. Also, I worked in conservation projects, something like an Imam Shafi'i, and another project called Citizen Participation Project in Historic Cairo, also with Mungaura. I have two published pieces of research, and one of them is Cairo Sense I have two published pieces of research. One of them is Cairo since 1990. It's an architecture guide containing a lot of buildings, not historical buildings only, but buildings with a good type and a good architecture methods in covering all over Cairo. And also another publication related to groundwater projects in Khalifa district with Mugawra. I'm a member of the Script community for practice and research on Mena urbanity. And as you see, my passion is to develop a community that people can live a good life, can act toward the environment and toward the sustainability. Also, not people only, kids can have places to play and enjoy their childish youth, can know how they can be leaders in their communities and enable their communities to be sustainable, good place to live and to improve their skills. I think that's that's short about my journey.
Thank you, Rasha. I know you're still trying to keep it very short, but I know that you've been involved in many projects that brought you to BENAA, and thank you for that. And based on what you said, I think you said a very strong phrase there, is that I want people to connect positively to their environment. And usually the people that you deal with are the 70% of Cairo, which are the people, the hardworking people that build every single thing that there is that makes Cairo what it is. And usually these people are slightly or in a major sense disenfranchised. But despite that, you create a sort of environment through the materials you use, through the systems that you provide, the education that you provide, to make them still want to interact with the environment and care despite the difficulties that they face. So before I get into my first question, can you walk us through what does BENAA stand for? What's the acronym there? And what was the spark that took place for you guys to say, you know what, we're going to do something about this. We're not going to wait for the government. We're not going to wait for NGOs. We have something we want to do and we'll do it together.
Okay. BENAA simply is an Arabic letter called BENAA. It's meaning building. It's the whole word is related to BENAA. And we created this word in order that we want to build the capacity, like what we were saying, to build the capacity in order for them to build their community. Here BENAA is mean building, as it's our approach in involving the youth and building the communities. It's an Arabic word called BENAA related to building.
It's lovely. That's lovely.
Thank you.
So without further ado, I'll get to the first question. So what is climate literacy and community resilience? You know, we hear these words a lot. They're very interchangeable. Climate literacy and community resilience, they always come together as if they're like pairs. And what is important in them to achieve environmental sustainability? And why are you interested in this field?
Okay. I think I skipped the question of what have empower us to came all together to making BENAA. We are a group of engineers from different fields, graduated from different universities with different approach, but we all together have a small problem that we see a lot of problem facing the community related to the built environment in our cities, and there is not a proper solution to solve these problems. Also, not a proper solution related to the climate change and sustainability. So that's the first thing we came up together to try to put a proper solutions for these problems with the focus on the climate change effects and how we can achieve sustainability. But that lead us to climate literacy and community resilience. We started at 2015. there's no word called resilience at that moment, but the climate change was not globally cheering, but a lot of people in Europe talking about the climate change. But here in Egypt, no one was talking about climate change, or no one even had a solution to solve any problem of the climate change, or even thinking about it. Also in our university, no one teach us, even my major is urban planning, and I'm graduated from the faculty of urban planning in Cairo University. I didn't know anything about climate change, or even how we can solve this problem, or even how we can empower communities to overcome these effects or changes. That's why our aim at BENAA is to educate the community about the effect of climate change, and to try to make the community resilient in facing these changes. Till now, we are working in a very small scale, but we want really to become bigger, and the government can take these solutions and apply it in all over Egypt, in order to really achieve the environmental sustainability in Egypt. Climate literacy and community resilience is two words connected together. If you make people know about the climate, and know how to face this change, you achieve the climate literacy and the community resilience. What is the importance of this both? I think I can summarize it in several reasons. First of it's informed decision making. Climate literacy help individuals and communities to understand the complex interaction between human activities and the environment. When people are well informed about climate change and its impacts, they are better equipped to make informed decisions about their behavior and the choice, which can reduce their carbon footprint and minimize negative environmental impacts. So it's the first thing why the climate literacy and community resilience is very important in achieving sustainable environmental, because when people know how to deal with these changes, they can change their behaviors, and as well they can achieve sustainable environmental sustainability. Second, adaptation to climate change. Climate literacy is important for communities to understand how climate change affects their local environment, and to develop strategies for adapting to these changes. Climate resilience involves enhancing a community's capacity to withstand and recover from climate-related shocks. Just as something happened in Egypt, extreme weather events now increasing the temperature, also a huge amount of rainfall that affects a lot of houses in Egypt, and there was no any proper quick solution to solve these problems, because we are not ready for something like that. That's the problem here. So resilient communities are better prepared to cope with the challenges posed by climate change if they are aware of this problem. The third thing is, yes, if you want
No,
to.
go ahead. No, I thought you don't. Go ahead.
Okay. The third thing is mitigation efforts. Also, mitigation word is not well known in 2015. It's a new word from the UN Habitat. I think at 2000, starting at 2020, and mitigations efforts can be done with the presence of climate literacy and community resilience. Without these two words, our mitigations effort will be hopeless, and we can't do anything. As climate literacy can also drive efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, which contribute to climate change. When community understand the link between their actions and emission, they are more likely to support and participate in mitigations efforts. So that's why I'm repeating the word, but in order to be
Consistent.
understand,
Yeah.
yes, climate literacy and community resilience is very important for mitigation efforts. Also, do you want to
No, yeah,
add?
I think, yeah, I want to hear that last part you were going to say, but I think you just, you set up the ground very clearly, is that basically anything you want to do for the environment, if the people are not engaged and they don't understand and the community is not there. And when I say, and there's a reason why we use community and not just the population, because if the whole population understands, but they are individuals and they're not working together in sync, everyone's working haphazardly and ad hoc, and it's not going to work. And I think that's something that many people sometimes don't really get, that it's not just about putting in laws or stuff to make sure that the environment is safe despite of our existence or living in it. No, it's supposed to be safe in spite of us, or because of us being part of it, and having a strong community and strong resilience or understanding of resilience. Sorry, go ahead, because it's the first time I found that. I know it's like I know it, but I never really came to terms with that reality, that very strong bond between them, that coexistence.
Yes, yes. I can summarize all of this that climate literacy and community resilience are very integral to achieving environmental sustainability, because by empowering the individuals and the community to take action and adapt changing conditions, and advocate also for necessary policies related to their communities and behavior, and contribute to the broader effort of the mitigated climate change and to protect the environment for the future generation. So يعني it all of them combined together, because all of these actions, if the community take it and be able to adapt with it, at the end we can protect the environment and for the future generation. What is the aim of the sustainability at the end?
Yeah, I see what you mean completely. I mean, even with my just humble efforts, when I try to do a research project, I always try. Sometimes it's slightly sophisticated, and I try to simplify it as much as I can, so that if the layperson comes by and they want to replicate this experiment, be it the solar water heating method, or or making an insulation panel from waste or from agricultural waste, they can do it without having me on site, because the idea is once they are invested into taking care of their own environment, they don't need a professional. It can be something that is repetitive through the community. So I completely understand your point of view. My second question is, how do you spread knowledge and raise awareness about climate change challenges and impacts among different groups of people, especially the youth? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you foster the community participation and empowerment in your climate change literacy and community resilience projects? What are some of the methods and tools that you use? Of course, you're free to use any slides you want to, use
Yes,
to.
can I share?
Yeah, of course.
Something with you? Can you see my screen?
Perfect. Yes, perfect.
Okay. In BENAA, we have a small concept. We call it social innovation pyramids. As you know, our aim is to engaging not only the communities that we implement the project in, but also the youth that help us in the implementation process.
Sorry, Rasha, can I just ask you to put it on full screen so we can
Yes.
see the beautiful icons you have there? Yeah.
Yes, that's fine.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and this innovation pyramids is related to each other in order to achieve sustainability as well. So we are starting with knowledge production. In knowledge production, we use social platforms to make awareness and education for the youth and kids and any category that are involved in the process, also that are need to know more about the climate change. So we produce infographics, simple videos photos and research paper, and we open it as an open source. Also, we translated this from English to Arabic to be available to anyone want to know how they can do a proper solution for the climate change effects. So that's our first thing, knowledge production. After that, we turned this production, this knowledge into a capacity building training. And these capacity building trainings aim to build up different capacities of different categories. We have a capacity building training designed for the youth, have capacity building training designed for the kids, and we have the capacity building training designed for women. As also we believe in the triangle of sustainability, that if we empower, if we build the capacity of the kids in something related to sustainability environment and climate change, we build the capacity of the youth as well. And if we build the capacity of the woman that taking care of the youth and the kids, we will complete the sustainability chain. So that's why we target these different categories in our capacity building. In the capacity building training, we not only built their self skills, but also we implement their technical skills to be able to make appropriate solutions for any problem facing them in their built environment, and also to empower them to be a leaders in their communities, and to empower the woman to have a side income generations, so she can overcome any problems that faces her in the future. So that's why our capacity building target also the woman. After that, after we produce this knowledge and build the capacities of different categories, we engage them all together in the participatory implementation project. Our participatory implementation project, we took the title participatory because it is depending on the involvement of all different stakeholders related to these projects, starting from the local community, the government, international institutions, local NGOs, in order to make an effective projects for the community that really solve their problems. We engage the community in all different levels of the process, starting from the design, ending with the result or the implementation of these projects. That's also a type of engaging the community in our participatory project, and there's our social innovation pyramids in BENAA, and how we work effectively to make the community resilient and know how to overcome the climate change.
It's lovely. I love the pyramid, and I love how you went counterclockwise, which is how the universe always moves. Everything moves counterclockwise, but most people put things clockwise, which is incorrect. But anyway.
I think I need to get back to the question, right? Did I answer the question right? Or...
I think you did. I mean, I was just asking about how do you spread knowledge and raise awareness about climate change challenges and effects among different groups of people, especially the youth, and how do you foster community participation, empowerment in your climate literacy and community resilience projects? I know that you have more detail to add. Do you want me to move on before you can add them in, or do you want to speak a bit more about the projects you have, maybe? Or
yes, I can show you some picture of our training.
Yes, please do. I think that is part of basically how do you involve people and how do you spread the word. And
that's the part of knowledge production. It's the translation and publication. Like I said before, we translate books from English to Arabic. As you know, we are an Arabic community, and unfortunately, a lot of youth and people didn't know well English. That's why it's difficult for them to understand a lot of writing books, contain a lot of knowledge in order to be able to duplicate it or implement it in their communities. So we overcome this problem by translating the books in Arabic in order to be opened for the non-well-educated community.
Right.
This is the capacity building. We have several modules, like I said before, youth activation module, technical modules, and impacts module. We don't only build the capacity, the self-skills of the youth, but also we prepare them to implement these solutions. Something like this is Earth architecture. We train the youth how they can do a CEB block. It's something very similar to red bricks, but with more
Clay?
yes, it's a clay, and also it's sustainability environment is not affecting the environment by any means like the red bricks. CEB blocks, it's a compressed earth block.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And as you can see in the picture, also we teach the kids how they use clay to make a toys for them in a very simple way from their environment in order not to use the plastic toys that covering all the worldwide. That's something also.
You're rewiring their minds to see how to connect with nature for everything that they care about, from the toy all the way to their homes, etc. It's a holistic thing. Everybody gets to participate and understand the value of Earth, basically.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's it. And if you want to move to the projects, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you for that, Rasha. It's very eye-opening, especially that slide that you have open. I think is very eye-opening because it just shows how every member of the community can participate on one level, but then showing how you can use traditional brick in a more sustainable way, but then how you can use an even better block, and then how you can actually create a whole wall. So it's not just you're because sometimes projects, they're very good at introducing a whole new language, which is, let's say, CBE, or rammed earth blocks.
Yes.
But they're not able to walk them through how do you get from A to B. It's like you used to speak Arabic, now you're going to speak English completely, whereas sometimes there's a middle ground of Arabish. So when you show the bricks that you have now, and by the way, there are more sustainable bricks than the ones you already have. And by the way, there's also something called a load-bearing wall that's made of clay as well. So I think that transition is very important, and to walk the kids from the beginning in a workshop with something that they care about.
Yes.
I think when I was a kid, I used to go to a workshop. I remember I used to travel. We used to take a bus to go there. It was called Fagnoon. I'm sure you heard of it.
Yeah, I know it. It's in Saara route, right?
I believe so, yes. And we used to have to play with clay all the time. And I remember my love for clay came from there. And when I went back home, I said the first thing I wanted was one of the clay rotators, the table with the rotator at the bottom with your foot to play manually. And I had one that was electronic. And then over the years, I'd always play with clay. And then I wondered, what can you add to clay? And then I got into straw, and then now I work with straw. So, I mean, if you want a case study, so maybe I'm one.
That's very good case, because when you were kids, you used to play with clay, and when you grow up, you use clay in your work, and also invented another materials in your work. That's something we see in the kids during the workshop. They didn't know that they can play with clay. They see the clay around them, and especially in the rural communities, and they didn't know that they can make anything from this clay. Before the workshop and after the workshop, a completely different result in the eyes of the kids. It's very, very
I think
important.
it's what they call paradigm shift of
Yes.
how you see things, basically.
Yes. Right.
I'll move on to the next question. So what are some of the best environmentally friendly practices that you promote and encourage people to adopt in their daily lives? again, if you want to refer to any projects you've used before or you've done before, that'd be great.
Okay. Here I'm going to talk in two different things. First, we have a long-term projects or projects that are designed to solve a problem for a long-term method in the community. And I will show this project to you. But also in our workshop and during the process of the implementation of the project, we always talking with the community to do something to help them improve the environment and protect the environment. Like we always talking about, you have to reduce and reuse and recycle all of your solid waste management. Don't throw it in a dump area, and in this dump area you will find a lot of garbage collecting and have a lot of mosquitoes that affect the kids and the community as well. So the first thing we also always saying, and we try to help them how they can reduce and how they can reuse and how they can recycling all this wasting materials. That's the first thing. Also, the most important thing that we are trying to advocate and speak about it is water management. We are specialists in water management and sanitation systems, and a lot of communities, not only the rural one, but also the urban, don't have a water management. And in Egypt, we are going to have a water scarcity that will affecting badly our life. So we have to control how we use this water, and we 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 are working with the community in some effective small ways to reduce this the consumption, the amount of consumption of water daily, and I think it works, and we are gaining a lot of engagement from the community, and that's very fine for us. Also something related to using the building materials. Building materials, as you know, they use concrete, red bricks, and its emissions of CO2 is very high. So we are trying also to advocate and convince them to use natural materials in building and covering their buildings in order to decrease the amount of CO2 emissions. That is the daily practice we try to convince the community to do. But something bad related to the project in a long-term project, I will show you some slides. Like I said before, we have 3 or 4 main fields work that we are working in BENAA. First of it, water sanitation and hygiene, something related to water management. We have 3 different projects in this field. The first project is drinking water kiosks. We implement water stations in the rural areas to give them a filtered, good quality drinking water. We have in Egypt some places called Azbas. Azbas is a very remotely area, didn't have an access to a good quality of water, so that they have a lot of diseases because they're drinking a bad quality of water. In this solution, we are trying to offer a good quality of water to them to prevent these diseases from happening. But that's our first project in sector of water. The second project is grey water treatment and reuse units. These units we implemented in the schools. In Egypt, we have a small problem. A lot of schools don't have a green area spaces. That's why, because they don't have enough water to irrigate these green area spaces. So how we can solve this problem? We implement a grey water treatment units. These grey water treatment units treated the gray water and use it in irrigation of this green space. This is the second project. Our third project and our new project is implementing a wastewater treatment unit in Egypt. A lot, I think 15% of villages not covered with wastewater network or sewage systems, and this is a very huge, big problem. The government tried to do its best to cover this, all of these villages, but it's cost a lot. So it's very, very big problem.
Yeah.
Need a lot of stakeholders in order to help to solve this problem. This unit is collecting the wastewater from different houses, treated this wastewater and converted it to a water able to be used in irrigation of their lands. Also, these units is we can control this unit remotely by an IoT system. The IoT system connected with sensors. These sensors measure the quality of the water, the units are working or not, and we can control it completely remotely.
Wow.
Yes, and also we connected these units by a mobile app. This mobile app, something related to climate literacy. This mobile app is used by the farmers themselves. The farmers will be able to see also the quality of the water coming from these units and to know which time they can use it in irrigation of their lands. If this unit need any modifications, if this unit need have a problems and need to be solved, they can call us directly and we go to solve this problem. That's our new project, and it's completely designed and implemented by the participation of the communities themselves, because they know their problem, they know their land and the crops very well than us. Their involvement is very important because the quality of the water also is very important to them and their crops. This is the next
amazing.
picture.
I'm very impressed how you were able to, not just work on filtering water. You use water in all three aspects. So how water enters the body directly, how water enters to the crops that enter the body directly, and then how water affects these spaces around the human being in which they interact with every day through their vision, through their senses, through their smells, through their sense of hearing. And so it's comprehensive, I think. I think it's very effective because sometimes I think many of us, engineers and architects and urban designers, sometimes we get caught up in the to use a more neutral phrase, the very polished hype of parametric design and 3D printing, and I'm all about it, and I think it's lovely and it's very useful. It has amazing uses, and in sustainability especially. But sometimes I think we tend to forget that simple. When I say simple, I mean things that on the outside are aesthetically very simple. They constitute 90% of a person's quality of life. And behind them are very sophisticated methods. I mean, I'm sure for you to be able to learn how to filter the water for drinking, and then learn how to develop a gray water system that is convenient for schools, because a gray water system for a single house is different, for a flat is different, for a school. And then also developing a solid waste managed system for farmers. I'm sure the knowledge you had to gain for that is multidisciplinary, especially working with electric circuits and programming and smart apps and whatnot.
Yes. Also, something related to this is convincing the community of these solutions. I will show you projects that all the people are thinking that we are crazy to build with these materials. Something like the natural materials or earth materials. when we started this project, it's a rural housing upgrading project, we came with that we are going to rehabilitate your houses by using clay. At the very beginning, all the people are refused this option and said, no, it's a very old and traditional materials, and we are not going to use this. We want concrete. It's very recent material, and we want to be to show in as a rich people, not only a poor people, because people are believing this material is for the poor, and this is very harsh to understand. So that's why we the first thing is to convince the community that this materials is very good to them, very good to the climate changes, and it's really a friendly materials, not an old one and traditional, and no one wanted
Yes,
to use.
you have a challenge to show them that, first of all, it will save them costs in the future of heating and cooling. And then secondly, that it's widely available. And thirdly, to take care of their communities, take care of their environment.
Yeah.
And then I think it's also sometimes hard to convince them that when someone wants to build a house, if it's going to cost them, I don't know, 10x using concrete and brick, it's going to cost them 30x if they actually want to use clay, because of how rare and rich of a material it is, and the knowledge of how to use it today is so scarce.
Yes,
But I understand. I think maybe the challenge of convincing the people sometimes is much harder than actually the challenge of building the actual structure.
Yes, totally. This project took from us 6 months to implement 30 rural houses, but we took from us a month to convince people that this material is a very good material. It's very, يعني, we implemented 30 houses in 6 months, but we took months to convince people. It's you know, the verse is very hard. But after we rehabilitate our first house, the community came to us. They keep calling us to come, please, to rehabilitate my house. I like this house so much. Please come. Here, how we can measure the impact and the awareness of our project. The community now is willing to have these materials and have his house look very similar to the house of his neighborhoods. Also, these natural materials are building by the community. We didn't want any involvement of technology or even machines. The community can use this material to build their houses. The only one thing they need is to build their capacity and to know how they can use this. Once they know how they can use these materials and from where they can get these materials, everything is easy, and they can rehabilitate their houses without the interference of any of NGOs.
So you took that picture that's way on the left, a house that just had a few beams on the top with straw, and you turned it into a house that's completely covered with a dome.
Yes.
And the materials and the tradesmen that worked on it were local, or were they sourced from outside of the villages, and then when they came, they trained locals in the community?
Both of this material is local. The clay we use materials called desert clay. This desert clay found in Fayoum, and these houses is in Fayoum. Desert clay is in district, not district close to this district or the village that we work on it. So it's easy to get this material, and it's with no cost, only the transportation cost. Because it's desert clay, you found it in the desert, and you can collect a lot of amount of it. The transportation costs only the cost they have to handle. After we show them from where they can get the materials, we build their capacities. We have trained laborers. We bring these trained laborers in the community, and they make a workshop and training to the community in how they can turn these materials into blocks. into mortars, and also into I didn't know cover.
Rendering.
Yes,
Right.
rendering the walls. And now, if anything happened to these houses, or if any modification needed for the walls, they do it by themselves because they
Wow.
totally know how they can fix their house now. That's it.
It's lovely. I mean, I think it's my lifelong passion to just somehow find a way to put all of whatever I'm doing and just not aside, but implement it and just keep on helping people like this, because I know it's very fulfilling, and to just feel that you're merging someone's needs perfectly with the best solution for the environment, I think is a very rich experience. I'll just ask one more thing before I don't know if you want to add something else, or do you want to show something else before?
I have a lot of projects. It will take a time.
Well, no, go ahead, please. I mean, you can show them now, you can show after the next question, whatever you'd like. I mean, I think the more the merrier.
Yeah, thank you. I will go through to them. This first project related to architecture sustainability or earth architecture. There's another one, community center built also with architecture with earth materials and natural built materials. And as you see in the picture of the community, those labors are all from the villages themselves. They help to produce these CEP blocks, or compressed earth blocks, and build the mosque or community center.
Wow.
This also a type of a prototype for a passive cooling chamber. It built with the youth. We train the youth in how they can build something like this, and they implement the whole building by themselves.
Wait. Don't just skip the mosque that quickly. Please go back a second.
Yes.
So no, this is something. So they made the blocks themselves.
Yes.
And then they
Yes.
put them together with the tradesmen that you have trained as well. So
yes.
It's not just that the blocks were brought from the outside and okay, let's build it together. No, they built the blocks on site. And if I may say, the design is beautiful. I don't know who designed it, but it's beautiful. Who designed it?
Our team. Yes, our team.
It's lovely. I know it's. I mean, this says someone has a lot of understanding and deep knowledge in the heritage of Cairo, the heritage of Islamic architecture, and also vernacular methods of building. I mean, I look at the dome, and I can see you had to build it through a slight octagon shape. Am I correct?
Yes, right.
To carry that span.
Yes, totally right.
So it's lovely. You were gonna say something. I'm just, I love it.
Yes. If you look at the picture with the community, you'll find the block. The produced
blocks
block.
on the right side.
Yes. These blocks are all made by the local community.
Wow. And the blocks are made of wood.
The blocks made from clay.
Like the actual mold for the blocks that they use. The mold is wood.
Yes, it's a machine. No, it's not like the Adobe. It's compressed machine.
Right.
We have a consultant called Dr. Adel Fahmi. He has a compressed machine for these blocks, and we bring this machine to the village to train the local community on this machine to produce the blocks. We can produce an Adobe blocks, but we want to train them on how they can use the compressed earth, or how they can make compressed earth blocks.
To make life easier, to merge the technology with the manual methods, so it doesn't have to take, I don't know, 3 months to make the blocks. We can make it in a month, let's say, or whatever. So, and as a timeline, how long did this take as a timeline between building the blocks and building the mosque together? I mean, just the blocks first alone, and then putting it together as a design.
It's only take 6 months, but we don't have a problem of implementations time. The only problem that we face all the time in our project is financing. if you have the accurate amount of money, you can foster the implementation process. If you don't have, the implementation process will be very slow. But that's the only problem, the financing problem. But the implementations, it only take 6 months. Train the local community. They make the blocks. After it get dried, we use them to build.
You don't have to answer this question. You can answer it in whatever detail you want. But how do you guys work around the finances part? Is it all donations? Is it government based? Is it people based? How does it work for people who want to start imitating what you do?
It's a very good question. We always being asked. In BENAA, we came up with like a process or a revenue model to make our foundation sustainable. This revenue model is depending on three sources of revenue. The first and the very important source is donation. Non-donation is funding from different donors. We write a lot of proposals and we submit our proposal to different international NGOs, and we make a lot of partnerships, and we depended on these fundings. And now we have a lot of funded projects that can cover us for 4 years. That's a very important revenue model for us. Second revenue model is our training programs. We have a capacity building training programs. We have different types as I showed it before. This training program is opened by an amount of money, not a huge amount, but an amount of money that keep us able to sustain these trainings and keep us able to do a lot of trainings. This revenue that come from the capacity building and the trainings go to the training and completing to make a lot of trainings. That is our second revenue stream. The third one is the products. BENAA produce different products and we sell these products. Some things like the earth products. We sell these blocks. In any projects need sustainable blocks. Need to implement its project by using these sustainable blocks. We sell it. We sell a ready mortar, something like concrete. It's mortar that you can convert it and use it. We sell products, and also we sell solid waste management products. I'm going to show you in different slides that we do furniture units by using solid waste management. Solid waste materials. We sell playground units by using solid waste. We turn every prototype that we made into products, and we sell these products separately if anyone wants to implement it in their projects. And also we sell wastewater treatment units, we sell drinking water units, anything we sell it in order to share the awareness, in order to make this solution available to a lot of people. Not only BENAA need to be implemented these solutions. Anyone can implement it, and anyone can have these solutions if they want.
It's amazing. I think it's a very smart trio, and I think it doesn't just deal with funding and getting funding, which sometimes this communicates the wider population from the project, but it also brings in the population of you can actually buy a product and know what's the project about, and your own project can be about it. It's lovely. You can move on to the one that was after.
Okay.
It just really caught my attention.
Okay, no problem. The third project related to sustainable architecture is passive cooling chamber. Also, it's a prototype of a passive cooling space designed and implemented by a trained youth. We built this capacity, and they came up with this idea, and we made it as a prototype in agriculture space in the Alex Desert Route. It's made from natural materials, earth architecture, and all of those use that you are seeing in the picture I'm now a well-trained earth architect, and they are working in different places related to earth. That's a very pioneering thing.
So you took the concept of the ancient refrigeration system. Maybe the one I saw, the one I'm acquainted with is the one from the Persian architecture that used to create ice. It's very similar. It's similar. It has a tower and it has a dome structure. And you did this to. But how cool was the space?
I think I don't know the measurement exactly, but I think it's very good to protect the vegetables or any type of crops from getting rotten.
Okay.
The measurement exactly, I don't really know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And for the participated, they're all local?
No, it's a prototype for the youth and the local laborers from the agriculture complex.
Right, and you were saying they're all trained now.
Yes.
These the tradesmen and also the engineers that were working on it now, they have the experience of building, and they all work in different fields within Cairo.
Yes, that's right.
So architects and urban
One of them,
civil. And...
Yes, one of them is working with us, Amr. The picture is very small, but one of us is now our architect, and the others are working in different places. But using the earth materials, what they trained in this process.
So is that tower connected to the actual chamber in any way?
Yes, connected, but under the ground. It's underground because it's from this tower we collect the good air, and it's moved through this tower and entering to the underground, getting cooled, and then there was a source of water. This water is cooling this air, and directly it's cooling the space.
You know, if you send in a section, I think I can add it to the video. I think it's lovely. Just for people to get the idea of the construction, because I have an idea of how it looks like, because I used to teach this to students. So yes, lovely.
I will send it to you for sure. Okay. Our two other field is solid waste management. Also, we invented some solution to overcome the problem that face the rural communities in the village. Some of these problems is the absence of a goodwill furnitures, or because it's high in price, and not all the NGOs or the nations give them good furnitures, and that's very important problem that facing these communities. So we turn it the waste materials into upcycled furnitures. These upcycled furnitures are designed by our team in participation with women from the rural villages, and they designed and they manufactured it as well and use it in their homes. We put these units in the houses, and also we sell some of them, and the revenue get back to the woman in the rural village. That's something related to waste management by using waste materials. Also, the second thing, a very huge problem in the rural areas and rural village, the absence also of playground spaces, all playground units. The kids there don't have a places to play, don't have the tools also to play and enjoy the childish age. How we implement an open spaces, an open playing spaces for these kids in different villages, in different governorate. But we focus in implementing these spaces in a well-covered area in order to protect it from renewal, because we choose schools mainly because schools is the built environment unit for the kids. They spend a lot of time in this school, and this school is can protect the playing area for a lot, and many of kids enjoy these places. We implement this spaces by using solid waste management, as you see, tires, wooden, steel, everything is waste. We use it to upcycle and do a playground spaces for the kids. These spaces is also designed and implemented with the participation of the kids themselves. They participate in design every piece and every unit, and also they participated in coloring these units after implementation, because implementation need a laborers to help us, because it's for the safety of the kids. They didn't involve in the implementation process itself. They involve in designing the units after we implement it for the safety of them. There's another field and another two projects related to solid waste management fields where BENAA is focusing and working. Also, the boss fields, I was focusing in the built environment that related to the community and the category of oldish and women and youth. And something related to Nexus, water, food and energy, sustainable architecture, and solid waste management. Here, I'm going to show you different projects related to the built environment specified for the kids. As I mentioned before, the children and the kids spend most of their times in the schools, and this schools is I want to see shaping their the kids' minds and shaping their behaviors. So if we put our sustainable solutions and an innovative idea in these places, I think we can affect in shaping the kids' behavior and the kids' minds in the long term. That's why we choose schools as a space to rehabilitate and implement different sustainable solutions.
On several levels, you work on the level of not just providing the playground, which is many times absent, especially in disenfranchised areas. They don't even have a playground. So it's just a big empty space that they're supposed to play in, and with no interaction and nothing to interact with whatsoever. And so you bring that in, but you also bring them agency, where they can actually touch the actual thing and design it and have their own suggestion. And then it's not just playing, but I can also see from this type of furniture that this is also a type of, it could be an outdoor educational area where they can sit down and play. And it can also be a lunchtime area as well outside. So
yes, this idea came from the pandemic of COVID-19. As you know, a lot of schools are closed. Kids have to stay at home, pouring, no space to play, nothing to do. We came up with this idea in order to overcome this problem as well. If we face any future pandemic, I hope no, but if we and the schools need to be closed, they can be an open learning spaces for the kids to enjoy learning, enjoy playing, and continues their lives, not stuck in closed houses, closed homes. So that's why we came up with this idea. It's an open learning space made from natural materials like bamboo and waste materials like wooden pallets. As you see, the desk chairs are from wooden pallets, even the floor made from wooden pallets, the playing units from wooden pallets, and pergola, what I didn't know what it's exactly in English, is made from bamboo. This is a daycare, a nursery in Tajamma al-Khamis urban area in Cairo, Egypt, and also we implemented another one in rural villages in Fayoum as well.
it's lovely.
Thank you. My last project is a combine between earth architecture, natural materials, and solid waste management. I really love this project because it contains a very not sad but a very optimistic story to to came up with this idea and to implement this eco classroom. The eco classroom is built from 9,000 plastic bottles mixed with clay materials, bamboo as you see in the roofing, clay in the floor, mortar between the plastic bottles. It also combined with open learning space, this circle thing, and a open playing area for the kids. Um, this is eco classroom also completely implemented by the participation of the community. Yesterday we was having a visit from the UNESCO. UNESCO was the funded of this project. They came to see the eco classroom, and it was very lovely visit because the community was well representing the community shows us the classroom and telling us how they build this classroom, not only our team at the foundation, but also how they filled the plastic bottle, how they put it, how they covered these walls with clay. Every step they was talking about by the community. It was, for me, it was a very lovely sign to solve. At the beginning of this project, when we went to the village and start talking with the community about we are going to implement here a classroom for your children, but we are going to use the plastic bottles. Really, they are calling us a crazy. and, and they totally refused this idea. No, what are you going to build with a plastic bottle? Plastic bottle is not going to handle or stay for a long time. And we started with them to try to show how the plastic bottles wall can handle a standing man over it. And after that, when they saw the process, they participate much. And when we came to the clay material that we are going to use it to cover the walls and using for the floors, the same sentence there, you are crazy. I'm not going to use the clay, use the concrete instead of it. We use the clay. And now they was talking yesterday with the UNESCO that they need us, or even now they know how to use these clay materials to cover their houses, because in the hot weathers that affect the village and Egypt, all of them are gathering in the eco classroom because it's good weathers to talk and to share anything. So that's something from.
I love this project because this is one of the few projects when I was getting to know BENAA and getting to know you. This was one of the few projects. I don't know all of your projects, of course. I'm a bit ignorant in that area, but when I saw it, it really drew my attention because I felt it brought together so many things. It brought together using waste that usually would land up in an incineration. I know we have recycling facilities in Cairo, but sometimes they are questionable, and the scale is also sometimes not really feasible to go on a mass scale because we know only a certain population is responsible for recycling. So it uses waste that more or less would be regarded as incineration type waste or landfill waste. And then it uses natural materials. And then it also uses the collaboration of the community. But then it stands as a standalone project that's like a useful, decent, something that is needed pavilion, because I'm not really with pavilions that show mark something or a hallmark for a certain technology without being useful, whereas this is a pavilion that's actually used day after day. And then it became a sort of a template where if I think you're testament to this. If you told them, you know, we're going to build the next 100 houses where you're going to live and work and get married, we're going to build them this way, I don't think they will say no. I think they will say, how do you do it this way?
Yes.
What I wanted to ask as a technical question, why did you need to use the plastic bottles? Why couldn't you fill in the, because from what I understand, so you use the plastic bottles as the main building blocks and then you rendered them, and then on the bottom of the wall you used stone tiling or stone units. So, you know, you could explain it to us as to why did you need to, or why did you go with plastic bottles? And how was their construction and weaving together different than using a traditional method of using bricks, for example?
Okay. This eco classroom has a different story. It's a prototype mainly. UNESCO was launching a prize called the Trash Hack. This Trash Hack is aiming to to collect and innovative solutions for using solid waste management. So we came up with this prototype in order to see if we can use solid waste materials in building or not, as a building materials or not. So that's why we do this. I think here in Egypt is not popular to find people use solid waste in building. In Africa, you will find a lot. But they're using not a plastic bottle, they're using a glass bottles. In building their houses, community centers, a lot of them. But here in Egypt is not. ف- it's just an idea came from a trash hack competition, and we want to know if we are able to combine these materials together, to combine a solid waste and natural materials together, not only depending on our natural materials. I think also that's how we think all the time in BENAA. We have I am working with a very innovative team. I love my team so much, and we are all came together all the time with different ideas. And the most beautiful and lovely thing that we are all ready to challenge and try and figure out where is the error. Not no, it's we're not going to work, so we will not do it. No, we will try it and see where the problem is, and we can fix this problem to prove and that is able, and that solution can be done. This classroom is a model for how we think in BENAA. We have an idea. We are going to implement this idea to come up with a prototype to prove to the people that this can work and you will be able to use it in different ways.
I love it.
Yeah.
How did you construct the roof?
It's a very good question. This roof, we bring the bamboo columns and we cut it into half in order to make it like inside. Yes, يعني they connected to each other very closely, not any gaps between them. Yes, to avoid the raindrops or any other things. This is the Kim's idea, and also we make it with a little slope because also if we had a rain, the rain go away into the open learning space, and there is an opening in this space to get off all the water. So it's not affecting our walls at all.
And is it rendered on the top as well with clay?
Yes, yes.
Right.
We do this because there is still some opening, a very small one. In order to cover all of this opening, we rendered it with the clay. We covered with the clay.
Perfect. Okay. So despite that the ceiling is this light, it still acts as a cooling room in the summer because of the thick walls and the ventilation. Of course, you being the professional, I'm sure you oriented it in such a way to get the best wind, etc.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And yani, that's something we feel it and figure it out from the community themselves. When they use this space, we are not able to be in the place all the time with the community existing there. They told us in the hot weathers, they use this classroom to gather and eat, educate the children, whatever, anything they do in this space, because it's much cooler than outside. So I think this is a significant one, a very good one.
Community center hub now.
Yes, it is.
A bigger one now. We need a bigger one.
I hope we can implement it in different places. Or even anyone can take this prototype and start to implement it in different places, not only us. Also, we didn't face a problem from acceptance from the community only. We also face an acceptance problem from our colleagues and relatives that are an architects. They didn't believe that we can do just a thing, and so the project was very challenging for us. That we need to prove that we can do this, and we can build by using these materials. That's what.
Which part did they not believe in? The wall or the ceiling?
Plastic bottles.
The plastic bottles.
Yeah.
Wow.
They keep asking us, and how you can cover this plastic bottle from the sun and the effects of the sun. We are going to cover it with clay. It's an easy easy thing. They keep put challenges in front of us, and thanks God we can overcome all of these challenges. And now the eco classroom is alive and
Well,
representing the place. Yeah. Also, there is a very good thing related to this. I know that he was shortlisted in Holcim Prize. That's right. Yes, we also now we are a finalist with this project, and we are going to know the final result, inshallah, in November, after a week, 18 November. And I think it's very good thing for us to the eco classroom can represent not only our foundation but also Egypt in this good international prize.
It's lovely. I mean, I wish you all the best. I mean, even because we know these things are very arbitrary when it comes to competitions, but I really hope it does reach that potential. When I entered Holcim, the Holcim Award, Holcim Foundation Award, I developed an insulation panel for informal settlements. It was made of 4 types of waste: foam, polypropylene, plastic lunch plates, cardboard or egg trays, and cardboard mache. And I put them together. And it basically the conclusion was it could provide a 5-degree temperature difference in the heat. So then the question was, how do you make it, fire resistant, etc. But again, it was built with the community, and they used very primitive methods to actually build the panel, and they installed themselves on the walls, and we created a whole experiment for it, and it was published. So I understand the beauty of seeing something like this come to life, whereas you would think that the solution would be very expensive and it's almost impossible. We have to rebuild the whole community. That's not the case. Yes, so I wish you all the best. I mean, this project is very beautiful, and I love the logo on it. It's like, it's very, and the logo is not very, how can I say? It's not like a brand. It's more, it's very spiritual. It speaks a lot to the culture and to the beauty of the culture as well. So
yes. Also, the logo here, we made it to show different type of materials we use. Through the logo, you can see the eco classroom. We need to zoom a little, but you can see the CEB blocks that we used, plastic bottles, and the clay materials. So that's why we make this one
logo. It's lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rasha. I'll move on to the next question.
Yes.
How do you evaluate the outcomes and impacts of your climate literacy and community resilience projects? What are some of the challenges and successes that you have encountered?
This question is very tricky, because, as you know, measuring the impact and outcomes need a long-term process, and I believe that we are not still able to do this long-term projects due to a lot of things. Our capacities as a team, we don't have a big team. We have a lot of projects, so we are running to cover all of these projects. But the tool that we use to measure this, our impacts, our outcomes, is locally tools. We talk with the community, and we see whether the community's behavior it changed or not. And if we came at any time with any visitor, or even by ourselves, we we see that. We see if the community is start talking about the clay material, the building material, and they need to use it. If they are going to, if they start talking about the waste materials and how they can use it to implement a playing area, use it in building as well. So our guide is how the behavior of the community changed, how the behavior are talking about things they don't know now. They didn't know. They didn't know that they can use the materials to reduce high raised temperature in their houses. They don't have this idea in their mind.
Understanding or culture.
Yes. Now we measure the impact of our project by this methods, and also by how the community are willing to make us implement more projects related or looks like these projects. Like I was talking about the rehabilitation of rural houses. When we implement our first house or rehabilitate our first house, the community keep calling us to come and rehabilitate their houses by using these methods. But also there's an impact on outcome that we make the community aware of the techniques and innovation idea, and also the materials that they can use to overcome the climate change.
Yeah, I understand. It's so basically the impact you look for is practical impact. How do the occupants change their behavior, occupational behavioral change, or occupant behavioral change, and how is the word spreading, and how is the culture changing towards these projects, basically?
Yes, and that's related most to the local community, but also we measure our impact on the trained youth. Our youths that we train, we now train more than 2,000 youths, and they all after that travel abroad to do their master's degree, and now they are well ambassadors about the climate change and the innovation and the innovative solutions. They keep talking about what they learned, what is the innovation situation that is happening in Egypt, and how in Egypt there is an example to show up.
I want to focus on this a little bit because I think this is where a lot of students, be them living in Europe, in the Northern Hemisphere or the Southern Hemisphere, would be very interested in joining BENAA, for a workshop or for a summer workshop or for a course to learn. So can you just walk me through how do these students come to you? Are they I assume a lot of them are nationals, some of them are also international, but just walk us through the process. How do they apply? How do they come to you? What courses do you guys give? How do they gain the knowledge over what span of time, etc.? Because this is where a lot of people would actually like to say, hey, I'm still a student, I would love to join, I would love to learn, even if a professional. I already said I want to join and learn from you guys and join. So
okay, like you said, we have national uses, and that's what we are depending on the most. First, we have an international courses. We do our summer school trainings for the international and for the nationals. Like I showed you before in the slide, we have 3 modules. We have technical modules, with a lot of our training and courses dependent on it. Summer schools is depending on one of the technical modules. We do a summer school building with mud in St. Catherine, and know how we can use local materials available in the environment to build a small building in an eco space or ecotourism space. So that's one of the. Also, we have here in Egypt an initiative called Isaac. Isaac is bringing a lot of international uses to participate in projects here, or to gain knowledge about different projects here in Egypt. We have a partnership with Isaacs, and we do a lot of training for the uses, the international use. We show them our projects. We train them how they can use natural or even waste materials in building, how they can implement treatment with water units or even water filtration units as well. That's something to simply through a partnership organization like Isaac, or through our social media platforms, website, Facebook page. We post our trainings on this platforms, and it's open to anyone to participate. Also, people are calling us or send us a messages through Facebook that we are a group of students who want to came to Egypt to learn and participate in different projects, and we design a training for them. That's the same happening in the national side. We collaborate with different universities, different schools, and we do a design training for them. Even international organization like GIZ, we design a training for their employers to know more sustainable innovations.
Perfect. We will provide links at the bottom of the description of the video, so that people can link with you guys. And I assume that hopefully your other two founders of BENAA will also, and your partners will also speak about these courses in more depth as well, because there's a part 2 to this and a part 3. So not to worry, there'll be more details, but we'll put the links in the end, because I think this is where people will say, like, I boarded on the ship. Now, where's the ship? Because I want to, so that's why I was asking. Rasha, I remember you mentioned that you have partners. Would you like to talk a little bit about these partners? Because sometimes I know that they can be the opposite of what a person might imagine. They might think that it has to be a super hippie company that loves sustainable, solutions, but sometimes actually that's not the case. It can be a very regular company that just invests as part of their corporate sustainable responsibility.
Yes. Over the past 8 years, we are going to our 9 years now. We have a lot of partnerships, and we are proud that we can make this wonderful partnerships with different entities and different organizations that are supporting really our projects, and make us able to spread the awareness and enabling the communities to really become an environmental sustainability communities. One of them is Isaac, as I mentioned before. Sebes and Ayavak is a water specialist in Suez land entity. Also, as you see, UNESCO, they Superlean, UN Habitat, different and a lot of international NGOs, universities. That make our projects. They give a credit to our projects. When you partners with a big entity, they start believing that you are making something. That's
Yes.
why we was taking to make this partnership with different entity, and now we are trying to reach out to more local NGOs here in Egypt, to work all together in spreading the awareness about the climate change, helping our communities to be aware, and the youth aware about the climate change's effects and how they can overcome. Also, we now try to partner with different universities in Egypt, to make not a curriculum, but to make a course related to sustainable environment, and maybe we can call it an appropriate solutions for sustainable environment, in order to give the chance to the youth to be well educated in the university and in the college, so that after they graduated, they don't waste time in still knowing a lot of things in Europe and other world knows already. Here in Egypt, we have a big gap in the universities related to sustainable development. Not a lot of youth know what is its meaning and how they can make solutions related to this, related to sustainability. That's a big problem.
Yeah,
and also, yeah.
So, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was completing at the end that we also now collaborating with different schools. and trying also to make a small curriculum and workshop designed for the kids in the schools to also know what is meant by climate change, what's effectiveness, how to overcome, what are the best solutions, how they can do a small practices every day to help protect their environments on this related
I think
topic.
that's great because I think you're training people in their natural vernacular, whether they are students at school or students at uni, to understand these things as part of not just history, but part of the current discourse of how things should move forward. And to be honest, I don't think it's just something that is relevant for Egypt or the Middle East. I think it's also very relevant for Europe because, I teach, I teach as a lecturer and as a senior lecturer at universities in the UK. And to be honest, we do not have a module that walks you how to use sustainable building technologies and sustainable building technologies that are appropriate for the UK or for Europe or for certain parts of Europe, and other technologies that are appropriate for the Middle East. Or yes, we have some understanding, but it's usually very constricted into using timber, maybe a few joints here and there, a few Japanese joints. There's such a thing as Adobe. Some students don't even understand what is a load-bearing wall. And so I think having a model such as that would really change how people see what architecture is about.
Yes, yes, because as we are an architect and urban planner, just like me, I believe the people who educate who are graduated now should be more different in knowledges than me, because the future is changing around us, and a lot of people around us are talking about technologies, talking about different simple solutions they can implement, but still here in Egypt, as much I interact with different students, they still didn't know how they can do a simple solutions to help community live a better life.
Yes. Sorry, I keep on saying architecture because it's my background,
Yes.
but because my degree was, as you know, it's a 5-year degree, so I touched a little bit on urban design and landscape. So sometimes I feel when I say architecture, it means architecture and urban design landscape, because to me they're not separate. They're always intertwined.
That's right. That's right. And it's really, it's not separate. And we should all know that, but here in Egypt we don't.
Yes, sadly, yes. Well, I really want to thank you. I think I'm just coming to the end of the podcast, and the questions I'm going to ask, they're more about, setting the path forward for yourself and for others. It is about the details of BENAA. But I would say, what are your future aspirations and strategies for enhancing climate literacy and community resilience in Egypt and the MENA region? Just in general, it doesn't have to be too detailed. I think you've already mapped out how you do things, but if there's a particular unique edge you want to add in, please let us know.
Yeah, I think the main answer would be education and awareness. I think it's a key. We, like we said in the whole podcast, climate resilience and community resilience and climate literacy came from the community. So the community need to know the climate change, be aware of its effectiveness, be aware of the simple solutions that he can do. For education and awareness, I think it's the answer. We are going to work more in making partnerships and networking to do a curriculum in different universities, schools. Also, like we was talking before, if you remember, we want to make a diploma, a professional diploma for the youth. They can enter this course and get to know everything related to earth architecture, sustainable architecture, how to make their communities sustainability environment. And after this, after getting out from this professional diploma, they are ready to conquer the field and start working and start changing their communities and also changing the future. I think education and awareness is the main, and we are going to work more in this two sides.
Oh, it's very enlightening. I think everything you're doing is in one scale, and just that level of awareness for people is a different game altogether. I think that really shifts the conversation, and I hope to be part of it. It'd be my honor, honestly. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your opinion on some of the current interesting topics that relate to your field or to the society in general? It could be anything, a book, an issue, a global issue, anything that you're concerned with.
Okay. I think my answer will be let us talk about the UN. How they keep talking about sustainability and resilience, and how we should protect the communities from different problems related to environment, and what's happening now with the Palestinian. I didn't want to talk about the case in a political way, but in a very humanitarian way. What's happening now in Palestine is not affecting only the civilian and affecting their health and diseases, but it will affect all the global after that, because now Palestine, with what's happening in it, no food, no water, no sanitations, no, not anything. We let people to die and destroy their home. We make people, we take from the safety and security, and it's very, very bad thing and bad feeling. And despite all the words they are keep telling us as an NGO or the development partner, that the first thing we need to make it for the community is safety and security, and provide them with the essential needs like food and water. And that is what's not happening in Palestine now, and they are keep watching with nothing to do. So I think it's a very big problem, not only a political problem, but like I said before, it's humanitarian problem from the beginning to the end, because what's happening is not related to political by any side. We let people to die, civilian people. They didn't have any weapons. They came with peace, like the word they always show. They came with peace, and they killed in their places and left without even any essential coverage or services they need. I think we need all to move, but from my side, I don't know what and how we can move. And I hope after what's happening in Palestine is end, we can take a part in rehabilitating Gaza, and implementing new houses, a new safe and secured houses for them. I hope we can be a BENAA Foundation part of this one time.
I mean, it's a lovely way to see it. Of course, before we move on to the the construction side and the design side and development and all of the things that are wonderful that require a certain level of expertise in different fields, let's just focus on giving people the necessities that that are the foundation of what we're about, whether it's the UN or anyone else, or and then we can question everything else we do and want to do anything else before we need to just provide the basics first. Oh, bless you. Thank you for saying that. Just tell us a bit about your journey and the challenges you've had to face, the achievements you've made, maybe that you've learned from, and if any pivotal points that were both tragic and funny in your career?
Okay. I have a lot. Uh, um, uh, BENAA now seems to be a very successful foundation, but we at the beginning was not. We are a group of youth, a very optimistic youth, want to change the world, but didn't have enough resources to change it. So we started depending on our own resource to make small prototype and to try to convince people that this prototype is working. So please take our work and please give us money to make more projects. And through this, I think we spent 5 years up and downs in different levels. Our money is, is end. We don't have any other resources to complete until we get our first prize. This prize is give us a push to complete and to continue our support. After that, we faced COVID. In the COVID, all our projects are closed. We need to stay at home. Also, we need to get out from all of our team, and this was the bad and sad part that we didn't give them salaries. So we are sorry, we cannot afford you for a long time. So we lost our team, and we kept the founders only sitting in their homes trying to write a proposal and applying for different funds and came up with the fund. And with this, and the first fund we got is from the UNESCO, from the Eco Classroom. That's why this project is very close to our heart, because it came after a very sad part and very sad situation we was in. Also, that is the sad part, but now BENAA is doing a very good, and like I said before, we have a lot of projects that can cover us for 4 years now. We have a lot of trained youth. We have a lovely communities supporting us and pushing us to complete our work. That is the happiest part, or the good part in this journey. Every time you want to stop, you, someone came to push you. No, no, don't stop. Please complete. You are doing a very great work. Complete, complete. And also the community, the local community themselves, they keep calling us. Why you stop coming? Please come. We can help you in anything you wanted to do. It's really we're still standing and we're still open BENAA because of this. Because the motivated youth that like our work and pushing to us to do a lot, the supporting organizations that believe in us now and want to still existing, and the communities that we help when they keep calling us to continue and to come back, we're still working because of this.
So you used to be a foundation, but now you are people's lives as foundation. So that,
yeah, totally.
That's what's keeping you going. Yes, mashallah. Yes. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Worked hard, and I can only imagine the difficulties you have to pass through to do something like that.
Yes.
My last question is, if you could offer advice to your younger self, either regarding life in general or specific aspects of your field, or both your field and life, what guidance would you provide that maybe someone could benefit from it now?
I think the only thing is don't give up at any time, at any circumstance. Don't give up, because if I was give up from the beginning, there will no BENAA now, and there will no any communities that we are helping and changing their lives. So don't give up. Life will keep punching you a lot, and be disappointed from also a lot of people in your journey. Some people will support you, others will not, and bring you down most of the times. But you have to learn how to deal with all these situations and overcome the situation to achieve your goals. As long as you have a goal and you have a dream, follow to your dream, go for it with ever or anything what happened, and really don't regret nothing, because everything has happened to us in as a foundations, make us more stronger and make us learn about how to deal with it in the future. I think that's my
Advice.
message.
Rasha, thank you so much. I've learned so much. Every time I speak to you, I learn more than the time before. And every time I speak to you, I can't wait to come and join the team and learn and participate however I can every time. So as much as I'm very happy to speak to you, I always have a little bit of a down after, because I feel like, what am I doing here now every time? So thank you very much. I'm going to leave a few links at the bottom. Just tell us if people want to communicate with BENAA until we have our part 2 and our part 3 with your partners. If people want to communicate with BENAA, where can they find you?
Okay, I will send you to all the links, Facebook link, websites, even my phone number if you want to put it. Email. I think email is better. Yes, they can send us anything through email. We'll reply directly.
Perfect. Thank you, Rasha. And thank you all for watching. And until next time, I hope to see you all in the best of health and high spirits. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.